Yalla yalla.
Good afternoon, bitches. You know I was gonna run that.
Come on, that's perfect, bro. That's perfect.
All right, y'all. This is the Brother Be Humble podcast.
Brother Be Humble.
Episode 1.
Uno.
I'm Sasha Ray.
And I am Jaysho Jordan Shoham.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've been planning this for a while, you know. We've been talking about this for how long?
Brother.
Fucking like 2 years. We're on the phone just, dude, we should do a podcast. Here we are. We're doing the fucking podcast. Yeah.
Finally, bro.
We're taking a shot at it,
Listen,
know?
I will say the first step, right, is something that we said 2 weeks ago. We were like, you just gotta pick a date and fucking stick to it. And look, we're here. We got this shit set up. Everything's good to go. I'm fucking ready to go, bro. And we've been antsy thinking about talking about fucking Muay Thai and training. And
I know, like right? We had a great session today, right?
That was a really good session. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I think the work I get with you, and then the collective
MAMMAA crew,
everyone at MAMMAA, all the minds that are there. You know, I've realized that it's taken some time, but like everyone is there to get you better. And
absolutely.
And I know I say that regardless of where you train, like that's just kind of like the environment, the mentality and stuff like that. But
you feel it extra when you're there.
It. Exactly.
It's different than when you're at left hand, is what you're trying to say.
Perfect example.
Don't mind it, boys. I'm just moving this over
here.
Yeah.
Perfect example, bro, is we're all chilling. We're sitting down there. Crispy's doing his workout. What's everyone else doing?
We're fucking. Let's go, Crispy. Shout out Krispy Kreme. That boy got a state championship fight. WCK Muay Thai, Burbank Marriott, June 21st.
Sheesh.
Let's get it, Papa.
Let's
Stand
go.
Your base.
When he started screaming,
oh my god, dude! This
dying.
dude's doing farmer carries with 250-pound dumbbells.
Dude, he looks good.
Oh my god, he's a savage.
He looks
he's
fucking.
Savage. You saw how much Milton was pushing him today?
He looks locked in, bro.
Let's so for those that don't know, I train at MAMMAA Academy, Milton, Arguello Mixed Martial Arts.
Let him know.
Big shout out, much love.
Yeah.
That's my sanctuary. That's my fucking home. That's my second fucking home. Shit. I owe so much to Milton. He lets me coach there. He lets me train there. You know, Muay Thai and kickboxing and jiu-jitsu, because I've done all that shit. Has changed my life tremendously, you know, and that's also kind of how we came up with the name. It's the Brother Be Humble podcast because back in the day,
story time,
when we were training in the garage during COVID, we were just, you know, shit would happen in the gym or the garage because we were training out of Milton's garage.
It wasn't a gym, it was a garage. I remember these days,
garage.
bro. This is before I even got into it.
And I remember Habib was still fighting, you know, and it was always, you know, someone did something to you, brother, please be humble. Brother, be humble. You know, someone would kick you hard or you'd start talking shit to someone. Brother, please be humble.
It's such a good message. It's you could use it in anything, bro.
You remember? I had all the homies on Discord saying it.
Yep.
I had all the homies in person saying it. I had all our teammates saying it. But we had everybody saying that shit, and it literally applies to anything and everything.
It's
bro.
such a good.
It applies to anything and everything.
Anything. It could someone's be fucking around, brother, be humble. Someone's too cocky,
brother, please be humble.
Please.
You gotta
say something out of pocket,
brother. Be humble, please. You know, so that's kind of the background where we came up with the name. I'm big on humility. You know, I think most people should be big on humility. You know, we all. I mean, life kicks our ass, right?
100%.
In anything, you know, it could be fighting, it could be love, it could be video games, it could be finances.
Yep.
You know, so this podcast is just kind of to remind everybody, be humble. We're going to talk about success. We're going to talk about failure. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. You
Yeah.
know, we're going to be all over the place. We're going to be all over. It's going to be fun. That's the goal.
That's 100%.
That's the goal. We want to just have fun with it.
The goal too, I think that we had was we kind of wanted to be like we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Versus the fact of like we feel like we need to be doing something. It needs to be like we're just cracking jokes.
We're just flowing.
Having
we're just
a good
flowing. Like
time,
like
bro.
Luke, like Big Luke. That Luke Lassie seminar.
That.
Luke
That
Lassie seminar 2 weeks ago at MAMMAA.
That was a good freaking seminar, dude. And
Yeah. I was just gonna
You're
say
good.
that was a cool intro, but now, like, you know what, Sasha, sit over here. Like, you can like face Jordan because you guys are having a conversation.
Yeah,
people watching episode 1 won't mind this. They're gonna be like, "This is
this is how you
suck my episode 1."
You can sit more on that side. You guys can actually look at each other.
Sucky.
There's gonna be a lot of blyats.
There you go.
So you guys should know blyat in Russian means fuck or whore. You know,
it means anything.
One. But yeah,
it means anything.
We'll get to that. But yeah, Luke Lassie seminar was sick. Luke the chef. Big shout out to Luke the chef too. You know, that was how much did we pick up on that seminar?
That we picked up a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what I was expecting. I've taken a couple seminars at Left Hand, and you know, we talk about this all the time. Left Hand is like very Thai traditional,
super traditional Thai school,
super traditional, super. Everything is like, you know, it's drill the basics over and over and over and over and over.
That sounds like Muay Thai.
And something that I've realized with myself that I have like a hard time doing is kind of with what Nico was saying today about, are you doing the combo to do the combo, or are you doing the combo to hurt somebody? Dude, that was...
Shout out Nico Ruiz.
That was a fucking gem that he dropped because it actually made sense to me. Because he could literally look at me and go, oh, dude, he's just trying to like
1, 2, 3 low kick.
He's just thinking.
He's not trying to fuck someone up.
He's not trying to hurt somebody. He's not trying to like use what is fighting for. Is it to look cool hitting pads? No, it's not. It's to apply it into real world situations.
Absolutely.
Where you could actually use it. And that's something that I will say is a big thing that I get from MAMMAA. I'm lucky, dude. I say this all the time because I have a place that's down the street for me to train, so I have no excuses. And like we talk all the time, and I'm like, no matter what, I will always find a way to get into the gym because it's walking distance. I don't have to drive. I never have that like excuse of traffic.
Shit, you were walking to and from. I mean, granted, it's what 5 to 8 minutes.
It's
but still, it's the concept. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Concept of
you
that.
love it enough to do it that way. You know,
100%.
Absolutely.
And I think that like I tell you this all the time. We kind of crack on this shit, but like. MAMMAA's got dogs.
Oh yeah,
dogs.
Yeah.
DAWG. Bro.
Yeah.
Because it's more physical, and it's not just Muay Thai. It's like everything, right?
Yeah.
And so you're learning all these different things. And dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have times where I'm like, even today, like you're holding stuff for me, and I'm like, fuck, what was I supposed to do? But not even deeper than that. My body's naturally trying to throw something because it's just conditioned to throwing the same things. So combo was like, throw the cross into a hook, but every time I would do that kick, I would try and do the hook into the cross because my mind is like building these like
and you can't have the mind. Remember, that's what Luke was telling us, and that's another thing about like the big difference between left hand Muay Thai, which is a phenomenal school as well. That's the difference between them and MAMMAA. You know, you guys are strict traditional Thai dudes. You have Greg Wooten, who's a fucking champion Thai fighter.
Great coach.
Phenomenal. I went over there and took a class. Phenomenal
I would
class.
go to war for Greg type
Phenomenal
shit.
Class.
Yeah.
MAMMAA, I mean, it's different. It makes sense. We're an MMA school.
Yeah.
You know? And the backgrounds of our guys, right? Milton is a jiu-jitsu guy. But even further back, because he did that later, and he taught that to himself. He was a traditional martial arts dude. He did Tang Soo Do. He did Taekwondo. That's what he started with, yeah. And then he found jiu-jitsu. He actually did jiu-jitsu with Royce Gracie for a little bit. He got his yellow belt, if I'm not mistaken, from Royce Gracie. Milt, you could correct me on that later.
Yeah.
And then
let him know his accolades, bro.
And then think about it. We got
game.
and Milt's got professional MMA fights. He's got a professional Muay Thai fight.
Yeah.
He's got, I don't even know how many jiu-jitsu fights he's got. That dude should be a black belt already. He was coaching at Gracie Baja Tarzana for a minute, which is probably one of the best jiu-jitsu schools on the West Coast. We got Jordan the Messiah, who's a fucking.
Let him know the roster, bro.
Oh, this is the roster is
hot, bro.
Wild. I mean, Messiah is a fucking wizard in himself.
I took that one private.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
he has leveled my game up exponentially, you know, and it's all of these coaches. It's not a matter of what they show you, like, oh, do this combo. It's more about the mentality behind the fight and why we're doing the combo, and it's just a body language and energy thing, you know. It's not all about 1-2 switch kick.
Yeah,
do it like this. No, like there's a purpose for everything that we do, and it's because we have great coaches with a wide background. So, like I was saying, Jordan also traditional martial arts, karate, taekwondo, all that. I think he it was a karate.
It's like a true martial artist.
Yeah.
Like
I think he's a karate national champion. I'm not even exaggerating. Yeah. As a kid, and then him and Milton trained with Petey, Sugarfoot, Cunningham, and kickboxing when they were kids. I wish I. I wish I found it when I was kids.
I would have gotten into this
I wish we did that when we were kids. You know,
bro.
We got Gabe Calvento. Big shout out G-Cal Fitness. That dude.
Sensei
nursed me back to health after I tore my ACL, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Gabe Calvento. We call him Mr. Miyagi. And I mean, you've taken a private with Gabe too. You know, you've done privates with all the coaches at MAMMAA, so you know it's a whole different outlook. And that dude's encyclopedia is deep. I mean, he could give you boxing work, he could give you Muay Thai work, kickboxing, MMA, the whole gamut.
Yeah.
And then we got Nico. We got Nico Ruiz, Wrecking Machine 155.
The best handle ever. It fits him perfect.
100%. I mean, that dude's a fucking killer, and that dude is a real, like, if Jordan or Milton are one encyclopedia, this dude is the anthology of encyclopedia behind fighting, you know?
Yeah.
Because that dude, I mean, I've seen it since you've been coming to the gym. He would touch you and be like, do it like this, and 10 seconds later, man's got it down just like that, and he has that effect on everybody.
It's really weird.
He has that effect on everybody.
It's kind of spooky. How he does it.
Because and he hit you with that today. He hit you with that do it like this moment, and you were like, I got this. I get it.
The levels of how it goes though is insane, because he could recognize what's going on in here for me. That's what tripped me out.
Yeah.
He saw what I was doing and he was like, wait a minute, it's not really about, you know, you need to be confident and feel like you're actually throwing these and you're doing it and you're not thinking too much. You're not just matching the combination. You're doing
no zombie drilling, Jordan.
You're doing it with intent, bro.
Yeah.
And that's something you tell me all the time too. It's like, don't zombie drill. Don't get me wrong, dog. I've told you this before. Of course,
we all do it.
There's fucking days where I'm going in and I'm fucking tired and I've had a long ass day.
Man, my feelings.
And that fucking disgusting little bitch inside of you starts fucking taking over your soul, and you're like, oh, you know what, dude? I'm just gonna fucking sit here. And you know what? I'm gonna take an easy day. Oh, I'm gonna go with this person.
And then what happens? Greg walks up to you and he's like, Jordan! You know the demons, Jordan.
He's on my ass, bro. You know the demons was probably one of the best stories ever. Dude, after the longest, one of the hardest fucking, because I did a 2-hour session, right? After that, I'm like walking back. Like I have this thing where it's like when we're holding pads today, I'm like, oh my God, today.
Greg's about to make me demo.
Yeah, I'm about to demo with him. He's going to be kicking me. My body's going to get lifted
champion
off
Muay
the
fighter is
floor.
going to be kicking me 1,000%.
Yeah, bro. And it's to the point where it's like, okay, shit, here we go. We're holding pads today. And I always have that little thing in my head where it's like, oh, it's a pad day. Okay, everyone's going to be fucking going hella hard. There's not going to be, I'm not throwing a easy combination. No. It's everything has to be hard.
I still remember when you would get upset. Why is he kicking me so hard, dude? That's what the fucking pad is there for.
And it's so true, because that is a fucking conditioning thing.
Yeah.
It's in the beginning.
Humbling moment right there, brother. Bro, please be humble.
Bro.
Please be humble.
But remember how many times I would get on the phone with you? Yo, dude, this guy kicked me crazy. And you'd be like, what? He kicked you? And I was like, no, I was holding pads from him. And he was like, you'd be like, dog.
I don't care.
That's what the fucking pad is for. That's what the pad is for, is to hit as hard as you fucking can, bro. But it's like it's like a give and take. Like if you're going with your partner and you know they're gonna go hard, you know, it's like they're also training you in being able to hold harder.
Yeah.
And
hold correctly.
And just holding the pad is a fucking skill that.
And also, I mean, you get to see what it looks like. That don't, you know, that's also for your defense, you know?
100%. Where is it coming from?
Here,
where did it hit?
The timing of how it's going to hit, all that, you know,
bro.
all that comes into play, you know?
Yes. 100%. But no, about the story of the demons, Jordan.
The demons, Jordan.
We had 2 hours of just holding pads. And this is like, we'll have like 2 weeks.
And wait. And a little pre-story. This is while you're planning your wedding, and you're going through it.
Literally going through it.
Like we'll get into that too.
Yep.
But man's planned his whole fucking wedding. He planned it, not his wife, not mother-in-law. This man planned it.
Yeah.
And he was going through it.
Yeah. It was.
And then you come to class, and it's pad day, baby.
So he's building the backstory. He's building the story. And
you come in, you're fucking like, I'm like, fuck this.
I'm
today.
like, you know what? It finally clicked in my head, like, okay, I'm just gonna fucking rip it today. It doesn't matter who I go with. I'm just gonna fucking rip it. 2 hours of that, and I had just gone through it. And right after, I walk into the bathroom, I see Greg in there. He's washing up, and he goes, "The demons, Jordan. Do you know the demons?" And the way he
with
said
his
it
UK accent, he's a UK fighter.
He's British, and for him to say that, it was so funny because we
Do you
always
know
talk
the
about,
demons, Jordan?
Do you know the demons, Jordan? So every time something's hard in life, I'll rip out that line. Do you know the demons? The demons, brother, the demons, because it's so,
that pad day got rid of those demons, right?
That's what it is, dude.
Milton used to walk around talking about the demons too. You know, he'd fuck someone up at the gym. Someone would get fucked up. Ash throws a spinning elbow out of pocket, almost fucks Milton up, and Milton.
So here's a question I have.
Demons.
So I have for you. So for me in the beginning coming to MAMMAA, it was kind of a shock because I got straight into sparring, straight into...
Brother, you were sparring with animals?
Yeah.
You were sparring with people that you should have never been sparring with 2 weeks into just learning jab cross.
1-2. I knew how to do 1-2.
You put you in front of Johnny Hart.
Literally.
Put you in front of Johnny Hart.
Literally.
Had you sparring 6'3" TRT head Johnny Hart, who's a savage also.
Absolute savage. And I remember he hit me and I was like, oh, I thought we were playing. I thought
No.
I thought sparring was playing.
No.
And
Johnny don't play.
And that's why the first real and that's why I love that I went to MAMMAA first. The first thing that I needed to drill was defense.
Yeah.
Foundational defense. Can I protect myself? If I can't, I'll take 2-3 shots and I'm done.
Yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely.
You know, especially if you're going with people, and you know, I always tell you, I'm constantly paired up with people that are bigger than me. Mm-hmm. And that's like a thing that
drives you crazy.
It drives me nuts, dude. Because
you
for reference,
be used to it by
you guys
now.
can't see me sitting down, but I'm like 5'8", 5'9" on a good day if I'm wearing.
How much you weigh?
Right now,
170?
No. I'm right around 161.
Okay. Well,
yeah, when I was bad, I was getting to like 180, but this was before training. But you've been doing this for 7-8 years. How long have you been training? It was before COVID.
Okay. Jiu-Jitsu, I started at 10th Planet Van Nuys, 2016 August.
Yeah.
Then I switched over to Milton's Garage at the end of 2019. Probably like September, October, November, somewhere around there. And I can't stop doing striking. We call it striking because.
But prior to that, you were doing jiu-jitsu, which I think opened you up. Into
big time.
We both played sports in high school.
Yeah,
we both played volleyball. I mean, I know people will.
And we're competitive as fuck.
Super competitive.
City champions.
Let's go, baby.
City
Come
champions.
On,
let's go.
Let
Starter.
T-House, baby.
Man was the starting setter.
Come on. We had to scrap it up, baby.
I was the starting left bench.
Yes.
Starting left bench.
Starting left bench. Hey, you had a couple plays though. I remember sometimes we'd put you on and you would pull something out. We'd be like, okay. And you know what? You were really good at. I'll tell you this. You were good at blocking. That was something that.
I hope so, Blyat.
No, that was something that definitely
lanky.
People saw, bro. People saw.
But our boy Brandon Sharping was a little bit nicer.
Dude, I remember
that
first.
That was a fucking freak.
You know, I said this on the podcast that we did together. He came out. First day, never touched a volleyball, spiked it straight down.
Straight down.
And everyone in the gym was like,
who is this kid?
Okay, he's gonna play volleyball.
Yeah.
There's some people that are just naturally gifted, and I'll actually route this into how I feel about Muay Thai. And this is kind of about what Nico was saying too. The belief. The belief in yourself on how you feel on what you can do is so much more than what you think it's. I don't know. It depends for some people, especially with the be humble, right? I try to be humble, and in that humbleness, sometimes it overtakes.
Because this is a bad place to have an ego.
100%.
Bad place to have an ego
and you can
in fighting.
And you can notice it instantly.
To an extent. Because, I mean, look at Nico.
Confidence. That's the difference.
But fighters have to have an ego. But you know, to a degree, you gotta be fucking psycho.
Yeah, and
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, and you gotta
psycho.
Yeah, you gotta have that energy of being.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
But I mean, you gotta have that balance.
But
it's absolute.
Balance
it's absolute.
Like, it's not too much because you know how it is when you see someone who has too much ego. I know I've seen people.
I want to fucking knock them out.
And I'm like, dude,
why are you like this?
Why wouldn't default just be I don't know anything?
Yeah.
What can go wrong when the default is I don't know anything?
And people don't realize how much power there is in being like, hey, I don't know.
Yep.
There's so much power in that.
Yep. Instead of faking it or trying to get it, and then
there's so much. Show me how to do that.
And with fighting, bro.
Yeah, nah.
You get hurt when you
start to think you know what you're talking
like you know what the fuck you're
absolutely.
doing. You get hurt.
Absolutely.
And even, dude, listen, this is something you said to me a while ago. Even the people who've been doing it for a very long time get caught.
Yeah.
Everybody gets caught.
Absolutely.
There's things that are going to happen all the time that you can't fucking control. The thing with fighting
it's chaos.
It's chaos, and there's so many things. I'm always in my head. I'm always trying to break stuff down.
2,000 RPM.
Literally, you're telling me this like 12-piece combo.
Yeah.
And I'm so intent on trying to remember.
How do I throw the uppercut hard?
That I'm not.
Nah, motherfucker, just throw it.
And exactly, it was like also how you do that movement. But dude, Nico is something else, bro. Like literally, like you said, he could just look at my stance, correct a couple things with how I'm standing,
and suddenly
I'm all fucking hitting
20% harder, right? The hook,
literally.
That hook today. You thought he was gonna break through your arm when he had you in the corner. And
okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna let everybody know there was about 5 to 10 different times where he was trying to demo it on me, and he was like, "Put your glove up." And I was like,
yay, full power. You gotta connect with these two knuckles, Jordan. These two knuckles right here. Yay. Hitting my boy full power.
And he is full power.
Full power.
And the thing is I'm trying to hold, right? I've got my gloves on, so I'm trying to hold, and he would hit that arm, and at a certain point I'd be like,
my shoulder's about to disconnect from my fucking arm.
I even started like preemptively bracing for it.
Not with Nico. No.
And it's just, dude, that power and how that fucking hits you, and how it's just like, and it's so, everything is in a minimal, it's all just there. He's not moving around. And even like those steps and just how your feet are moving to give you more balance for more powerful shots. And how, dude, it's so
it goes deep.
It's so complicated. This shit is so hard for me sometimes, and that's why I have that mentality of, fuck, I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing.
So let me ask.
I need to like break off of that and just start thinking
and just go
and just start thinking of, how am I gonna apply this? How is this gonna be real? I'm not trying to just sit there and fucking like memorize everything.
No, it's not a memorizing
It's
thing.
not, dude.
No, it's an energy thing.
It is.
So let me ask you something. What's like a humbling moment you've had, whether it's sparring, pad work, just a quick one, just a quick one. The first thing that comes to mind. Maybe that time where I kicked you in the stomach and you were like, boof. And I was laughing so hard mid-spar.
Most of the time is very nice when he spars with me, and he knows this about me. I am not a very comfortable spar. I don't have the ego. I'm not gonna.
That's not true, but okay.
Listen, I'm not. That's how I feel. I'm talking about me personally, introspectively, how I see it. I don't think that I have. When I see sparring, I think that's imitating a fight. What would cause you to want to fight? Anger, emotions, this, that. And then I start, you get what I'm saying? I start getting into that. That's not me. That's not me. I am not, and I tell people all the time, because I tell you this too, people think I know more than I do at left hand.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there for 2 years. The coaches know how much I know because they know that I started there and everything. People come up to me all the time. They're like, they think I know so much more. I really don't.
You gotta give yourself a little credit if that's the case. It's something that you always tell me, you know, Sasha. You don't realize how good you are.
You're good.
And I keep it humble too. Maybe I underestimate myself, which is a bad thing. Something that I'm working on, you know. But yeah. But that sparring round, what happened? What happened?
So typically Sasha's kind of he's nice, but there's times where I know I'm showing up and I could see the look in your fucking eye.
Stop.
No, I'm telling you, where he's like, I'm gonna eat shit today, right?
Brother, it's just for a little
forward
pressure.
I don't even remember what the fucking combo was, but this was back when I was still constantly on the back foot in sparring. And
that was a left kick to the body, I'll tell you right now.
This dude, Sasha, rips this fucking kick, and
you're already half dead.
I'm already dying. I'm on...
Yeah, but can we give a little pre-story? Yo, to the body, you can go 100%.
And that's, listen, I'm all game for that.
Do I hit you hard to the head ever?
No.
Okay,
never,
beautiful.
Never.
Beautiful.
You've never,
Fantastic.
no, I'm telling you right now, you've
Fantastic.
never one time hit me hard in the head.
We got to put that out there.
Every shot that's gone to my head, you've had a couple like stiff fucking jabs.
Yeah.
And like a couple crosses where I'm like, ooh, if he put a little mustard on that, I would be done, bro. I would be done. Ketchup everywhere. So yeah, so he fucking hits me with his body kick, bro, and I am not kidding you. Every ounce of air in my lungs released out of him, and I made this huge.
The noise was the best.
Oof! He literally crumpled me. It hit me. I was like, oof! I let out one of those.
But you didn't drop.
I didn't drop.
You didn't drop, and you kept going. Yeah, you kept going, and you kept going.
I was about to turn and go in the opposite direction, but we start fucking dying of laughter, because the noise that I made me laugh too. It literally was just so fucking funny, dog. That I would say. I'm trying to think of another hum. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, let's do one more.
I have another one, and this is at left hand, actually.
Yeah.
And this has to do... I obviously have, like, humbling moments, like, outside of it, like, in work and things like that, but, you know, my mind's so into Muay Thai right now that I remember I, like, pulled up one time, and there was this one girl there that I'd never seen before, and I was like, oh, okay, you know what? She asked me to go, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Brother, she surprised me so hard. So hard.
There's some badass girls out there, bro.
And I'm telling you, like, this was like my first experience of going...
With training with a girl.
With training with a girl. And I remembered in my head, I kept saying, like, I swear on my life, I was like, oh, I'm going to have to take it easy. Literally. I said that to you know, take it easy.
Next thing you know.
Next thing you know, she's putting it on me, bro.
Yeah.
Putting it on me.
There's some badass girls out there, bro.
Body shots. I'm throwing shots at her body where in the middle of the round I'm thinking, damn, she's hitting me kind of fucking hard. I swear to God, I'm going, she's low-key hitting me hard. And I could say this without any guilt in my heart. I started going harder.
Yeah.
I was like,
absolutely.
I need to match this, because if I don't start fucking matching that, she's
gonna
walk all over me, bro.
You gotta let her know.
On the sideline type shit. And that was a perfect humbling moment, because I went into it thinking, I'm gonna go light. I'm gonna have it easy.
No.
You know, it's like one of those things. I'm gonna have an easy time, bro.
This chick went here. You were like, oh, I gotta go here. She went here. You were like, I gotta go here. She just kept building you up.
Kept building it up to the point where at the end I was like, damn, yo, I was hitting her as hard as I hit some of the homies, dog. Like, I was hitting her fucking hard.
So I got a story about training with a girl.
Yeah. When
I was doing jiu-jitsu, I went to LA Jiu-Jitsu Club, right? Okay. And they were still in a house at the time.
Yeah.
And I get there, and I'm still a white belt. You know, I don't know shit. And I'm only a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. I haven't done that shit in fucking forever. Jiu-jitsu's fake. We all know this.
Once you got
Coach Raph is gonna see that, and he's gonna fuck me up, but whatever, you know.
Shout out Raph.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I pull up to LA Jiu-Jitsu Club, and it's an open mat. You're just flowing. You're rolling with everybody, you know.
Yeah.
And there's this chick there. I just remember her name was Nicole. And I remember rolling with her, and She was probably our age. She might have been a couple years younger. I was 24, 25 at the time.
Okay.
And we're rolling, and next thing I know, she's got me mounted. She's got me in full mount, and she's doing whatever she wants.
Control.
Yeah. And this was like a 7-minute round. And I shit you not, I spent all 7 minutes on the bottom with her mounted on me. I couldn't do any. I couldn't get out of mount. I couldn't do anything to this chick. Anything. This girl is like I think she's a brown belt or a black belt now. But she went on to like win fucking, and this is not me taking anything away from her fucking me up. By the way, I'm just saying how fucking good she is. She was like a purple belt fucking Pan Am gi champion.
Damn.
Like, she has a brown or a black belt.
She rolls.
Now. Oh yeah.
She's been rolling.
She rolled me up and like. Yeah, that was.
You had that moment where you were like, "What the fuck?" I was like,
"What
dude?
the fuck?" And
I'm not a small guy either.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
You're not a small
back
guy.
then. I mean, regardless, it doesn't.
You might
matter.
have been a little bit skinnier.
I was definitely skinnier back then, but that has absolutely nothing to do with it. She rolled me the fuck up, left and right, bro. Yeah, left and right. Super humbling moment. But I started jiu-jitsu knowing that to get good at jiu-jitsu, it's all about you got to tap. There's a lot of tapping involved before you get anywhere near decent even at jiu-jitsu.
That's an ego thing too, right? It's
oh my goodness.
The tap is the ego.
Yeah, the tap is super.
I'll let you break my arm.
No, hell no.
Fuck that.
We're
early 30s,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So mind you, for anyone
33 for both of us.
33, right? So
even back then, I knew you had to tap a lot in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like I've never been put to sleep. I've never fucking, thankfully, had no tears, doing jiu-jitsu, nothing like that.
Yeah.
The most serious thing I've had happen to me is a popped rib. And apparently from what my coaches told me, that's a rite of passage in jiu-jitsu.
It's very common.
It's happened twice to me.
It's very common. You're interlaced. You're doing all these weird movements.
You're trying to roll.
Sometimes
someone just crunches on you and bink. That's how my first one happened. The second one happened. Someone had me in a body triangle and I moved and I just felt a pop.
So
that shit sucks.
I kind of want to get into the ACL thing.
Okay.
Because I kind of want you to explain how that happened, because I as your friend want to tell you that period of time was like a period where I saw you had a lot of strength and honest to God, a lot of people would get a serious injury like that and quit.
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
And quit to the point where it's something that affects how you were living your life for months. Yeah. Until you decided to get the surgery. And then you got the surgery, and after that it was, you said with Gabe, rehabbing. So kind of just let's go through the story of how it happened. Because it wasn't in jiu-jitsu.
No.
You weren't rolling. It was
in Muay Thai. It was in Muay Thai. We were in Milton's garage. It was like it was middle of COVID. It was like October 2020, and we were doing some clinch stuff. And the homie TJ was there. Okay. And TJ's a wild boy. TJ's got multiple MMA fights. He's a correctional officer. I think he's like a blue or a purple in jits. Like,
he's got some stuff under his belt.
TJ's a fucking stocky dude. Like, that dude knows how to fight. Yeah. That dude knows how to fight.
Yeah, he's built.
And he just did some funky shit, and I moved weird. I tried to regain.
Toss?
No. He was trying to hip toss me in Muay Thai, which we won't get into that.
Yeah, it's a trip or bust.
It is what it is. Yeah. He tried to do some shit, and I didn't let him. And then he tried to force it, and when he forced it, I defended. But in my defense, when I stepped, my knee just blew out. I still remember I just remember
loud
step,
pop.
Yeah, loud pop.
Ooh,
loud pop.
Everyone heard
step. Loud pop, black in my eyes, pain, right? It's not like I knocked out, but I just remember ooh. And then I knew it was bad right away. I knew it was bad right away. I limped to the car. I limped up. I remember I got home and I couldn't even walk up. You know how my parents' house had the long ass staircase
to go up. Yeah. Into the complex.
I parked my car outside so I wouldn't have to.
Went through the garage?
No, not so I didn't have to go through the garage. Oh. So I parked my car on the street.
So I could just
walk.
Damn.
Yeah, because I couldn't walk, and I remember I was like tearing as I was walking because I was in so much pain.
Like, that shit must have hurt so bad. Bro.
And I remember, I mean, the boys knew it was bad when I was sitting there telling them, like, yo, I heard a pop, like this, that. And they were like, you should be okay, this, that. They didn't know how serious it was, you know? And I knew it was bad because I heard the pop.
You felt it.
I've never felt anything like that in my life.
Ay, caramba.
And I remember I
get scared of that every time I get tossed. Like,
it was traumatizing for a while. But I remember fucking I get home, I'm going to Rosalie's crib. I'm on the drive to Rosalie's crib. I called my boy Alfie, who works at a it was a
medical
orthopedic surgeon's office.
Yep.
So it's perfect person to call.
Absolutely.
Hey, my knee popped. I need to see someone to figure out what's wrong with it. Okay, come in tomorrow 9 a.m. Beautiful. Perfect.
And you couldn't bend your leg. It was just
very limited range of motion. And a lot of pain and swelling.
Jeez,
and then I remember I got to Rosalie's crib and it was a lot of pain. I remember I went to sleep. I woke up to go piss at 2 a.m. and I was stiff. Like I couldn't.
And
like,
was it?
Bro, it was like
swollen.
this. It was like this.
Holy
and I remember waking up in just excruciating pain. Like probably some of the worst pain I've ever felt aside from post-surgery pain that I had the first day or two.
Of getting used to it.
Yeah. And then I remember it took me like 2 minutes. No, like 5 minutes to get from like, let's say here to where that fucking water cooler is.
Ain't no way.
Yeah. Because I was like, I couldn't do anything.
You had crutches at this point?
No crutches. This is the day. This is the
day
night after. No, this is the night of the injury.
Damn.
And then I remember I went to Alfie's and they were trying to like kind of sugarcoat that it's an ACL injury. Because he did the test and this, that. They wanted to aspirate the knee, but they were like, there's no point because you're going to go get an x-ray and an MRI.
To go look
I was like, cool. I get the x-ray and MRI results, and I remember Alfie calls me, and I'm in my kitchen. This is mid-COVID. Again, there ain't shit going on.
Yeah.
But Alfie calls me like a week later after getting the MRI, and he's like, Sash, he did not sugarcoat that. He hit me.
Dead on.
He hit me right dead on. Sash, your ACL's torn. Just like that. No intro.
No intro, no bullshit.
No nothing. Sasha, your ACL's torn.
I
You
kind
need
of
surgery.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I do too.
I kind of appreciate that.
Looking back,
because if he would have tried to like
No.
I know how you are, bro. We're with like
and then I spent 30 minutes on the phone with him trying to figure out if there's any way around surgery. There's no way around surgery.
It's the only
I
way.
went and got I saw 2 doctors. They looked at my results. It was a grade 3 full rupture. There was no way around it.
Yeah.
There was no way around it.
If it's a minor tear, then it can
You
heal
can rehab
over,
it,
you
yeah.
can rehab
but
it, but
this is a surgery. Mandatory. They were like, if you don't get it surgically repaired, it could get worse. You could develop arthritis in the future. Shit like that.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to speed through the story a little bit, obviously. But I'm gonna be honest with you, that was like a moment in my life where I realized that we're just like a fleshy fucking unit that can just... I realized my mortality in the moment. And it's not like I got shot, stabbed, hit with a baseball bat. I tore my ACL doing Muay Thai and I couldn't fucking like walk, run, do the things that I've done my entire fucking life. You can't go take a shit, go piss,
you can't go get food.
Exactly.
Can't do anything.
I mean, you can do that stuff, but like, bro, if I like...
Limited mobility.
Yeah, you know me, we're active.
Oh, yeah.
I'm active,
we get up and
active.
go straight to it.
Yeah. I couldn't do anything.
Damn.
I couldn't do anything. And we scheduled the surgery for January.
So wait, so let me cut you off. So I'm sure in your head you're like, "Fuck, I want to do everything to get around surgery."
Yeah, that didn't. I mean,
the idea of surgery is scary.
Yeah, dog. I was. You remember? I was shitting my pants.
But this is what I'm trying to tell you.
I was shitting my pants.
Is what gave you the courage to be like, you know what? I don't want to let this define me, and just. There's people with torn ACL, Sash.
Still walking around.
Still walking around.
Training.
33 years later, they still got a fucking. It's still completely torn.
But the thing is,
like what? Like I understand.
Well, in my head, like I really enjoyed doing Muay Thai, and I was like, hey man, like I want to get back to doing this. I'm trying to. Bro, that injury, like, I'm so grateful that injury happened to me. Like, looking back on
That's crazy.
That's like
That is like a deep thing to say, bro.
That was one of the best things that ever happened to me in my life because it made me change so many things in my life. Like, I got really serious about my health. I like started working out. I got really serious about Muay Thai. I got really serious about like health and fitness and whatever. And yeah, it was just a really long journey, man. Like, I remember I was shitting fucking bricks. Like, I mean, I'm sure you remember talking to me before surgery.
For sure.
Like,
for sure.
Like, I was like terrible. I was like, yeah, they're gonna hit me with the anesthesia, and I'm never waking up, dog. I am never waking up after this, dog. That's where my head was.
I kind of think.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna wake up. They're gonna be fucking slicing my knee, and I'm gonna be laying there in pain, like I can't do anything because of anesthesia. I'm out, but I'm conscious. You know, that was what was going through.
You know, there's people who have brain surgery and they're playing
conscious.
They're conscious and they're playing the violin. I mean, that's even deeper. But I mean, feel you.
Obviously, like I'm trying to speak. It's not a fast story. Like
it's
you know?
not. But so it's like after that, right? So you have the surgery. Did you? So how long?
A year.
You waited a full year until you did
No. I was trying to poke holes in the rehab any way I could. You want humbling? I got thousands of humbling moments, brother. My girlfriend Rosalie Carbajal, shout out baby girl, I love you.
Hey.
Fucking gave me a sponge bath because this was like a week and a half in. She had to wash my ass.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't go take a shower and I couldn't do any of that.
That's love.
That's baby girl.
That's love. Let me tell you. If someone's willing to do that,
full scrub down, you know, like
and I'm sure,
bro, I couldn't take
like you.
Yeah,
you're sitting
bro.
there
I'm like, what the
feeling
fuck, dog?
like,
this is supposed to happen when I'm 89, not when I'm fucking 29, you know?
You're like, I can't even wash my balls.
That's a humbling moment for me, you know.
Yeah.
Another humbling moment, you know, my PT is telling me, yeah, when you your rehab exercises, I want you to do 25 calf raises, do 2 sets of 25 calf raises. I come back the next day, I'm like, Doc, I'm in a lot of pain. But I didn't listen to Doc.
Yeah.
And I told Gabe the same thing, and he's like, you're a fucking idiot. He's like, what did you do? Yeah, I did 3 sets of 50. And they're like, are you fucking stupid, bro?
Yeah,
like
overusing it.
Dog, you're like, this is 5 weeks after surgery. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like you gotta cut back, you know?
You were trying to like jump it. You were trying
I was trying to jump it on everything.
I'm trying to skip the line, bro.
I was trying to skip the line on everything.
On
everything.
And I don't blame you.
Bro.
I had that rib thing. Bro, that rib thing put me out.
And that was 6 weeks for you. You know? That was 6 weeks.
7 weeks.
Dog,
7 weeks.
I remember
You're talking about a year.
Yeah, bro, I remember I have a video of me hitting pads on my birthday, which I got the surgery January 20th. My birthday's May 4th.
Yeah.
So I remember hitting pads. I still had the fucking stabilizer, the full cast.
I remember this.
Yeah, and then I had to cut back on that and just focus on training. And then I remember in Gabe's garage, not Milton's garage, in Gabe's garage, just doing rehab shit. Like I would go to PT and then I'd see Gabe on the days where I'm not seeing my PT.
You're doubling up, yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Just getting my ass whooped when I was fucking finally coming back. Funny story. Here's a, you know, we had the agony of defeat, right? Me dealing with all this bullshit, but here's the thrill of victory right here. I remember I was sparring Simon. Little Irish rat, Simon. And this is probably 7-8 months after surgery. But I'd been going and training a little bit. Milt already had the gym up, you know. And I remember I sparred Simon, and he was hitting me hard. And I'm like Bambi. I'm like Bambi trying to find my
your legs.
My legs, you know, because this shit atrophied, you know, and this one's overcompensated on. And I remember we were sparring, and I broke his jaw during sparring.
Damn.
And there's a video of it on my Instagram, but I remember he was a southpaw, I'm orthodox. I remember slipping in, I threw an uppercut, and you just see his fucking head jerk, and then he puts his hands on his knees, and we had to stop the round. Ooh. And funny part is, in the background, you see the guy who tore my ACL, TJ, standing there watching all of this.
Damn, what a
and
start.
he's just stone faced, but I know in his head he was like, yes. Yes. He's like, violence. I know he's standing there like, violence, you know? So like that was a good little moment. And then I mean, obviously I took a PKB 2 years after the surgery. I lost, but a goal of mine after
I was
surgery,
so proud of you, bro. I was so proud of you.
We had a great fight. That dude Jerry Granado whooped my ass, but I thought it was a pretty fucking good fight. I stayed in there. I did what I could. I was shitting bricks before that too.
Yeah.
And a big goal of mine after ACL surgery was to be able to take a fight, and I did that shit.
Yeah, let's go, dude.
And that's that's a quick little moment of victory. Thrill of. Or agony of defeat, kind of contrast moments for what I went through. But yeah, like I said, that fucking ACL surgery was like fucking one of the best things that's ever happened.
Bro,
to me
I was
in my
so
life.
proud when you took that fight too, especially just knowing the story of how long all of that like affected you, and really it like went on for. It felt like it went on for a long time, and
it did.
And you know what's crazy is I wasn't even doing Muay Thai at that point.
Yeah,
I wasn't even into it. If that happened, like, God forbid, but like now where I understand how much Muay Thai does for me,
you'd be back at it like this,
dude.
You do whatever you can,
anything I can to get back into it, and that's why when I had that rib thing.
How long are we in, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
I have 42 minutes.
I have our
timer. It's nothing. I thought I'd been talking for fucking 2 hours already.
No, I have our timer. It's gonna
beautiful.
Be 45.
Oh no, we're chilling. We're chilling.
I have it. We got.
Real quick, since I'm interrupting the flow anyway.
Yeah, it's all good.
Move the mic over here.
Yeah.
So I moved the mic over there so that's between you guys when you're talking.
Oh,
okay.
And you were sitting here.
Yeah, I got you.
And when you were, it was symmetrical. But that's why
now it's moved it back.
So
I feel you. I also feel like we're talking super loud.
Shout out, Gil Joseph.
Yes, sir.
Our Jamie Vernon.
Let's go, dude. This is officially 2 podcasts. This is the second podcast where Gil's working on it in the background and helping us out with it, so I appreciate
for
you.
A different one.
The boy.
It's too late, lad. They've already seen all the fuckery.
It's way too late. They're seeing the future now.
It's okay. Damn, I didn't realize how much material we'd have to blab about.
Can I tell you what's crazy?
Yeah, this is wild.
We went into a fucking
wormhole. I wanted to talk about video games.
Listen,
I wanted to talk about some love life shit.
Listen, bro.
We didn't get to any of that, dog.
There was one time in this entire thing where I looked at my phone.
And you were like, damn, we're that far in?
We've done 36 minutes already. I literally was like, yo, that's why in my brain I started thinking about things that I wanted.
Right?
Mind you guys, just so you guys know, these are conversations I have with Sasha
daily.
Because
I drive far as fuck, and this dude is at home working.
From home.
So I just hit him up when I'm bored as fuck driving.
We're
and
just
hour and a half.
And dude,
Sasha, I've been on the phone for an hour and a half. I need to get back to work right now.
And the crazy part about it is that the conversations flow exactly like this.
Yeah.
Where we just bounce off of each other and they just go to wherever they go. And that's kind of why I wanted to bring up the injury thing and some other stuff. But it's so much more fun when there's no structure. You just do whatever you want to do, We got a loose structure, obviously. Yeah, there's got to be something.
There's got to be something.
There's got to be a little bit of
absolutely.
something. And that's why I think like the brother be humble.
Brother be humble.
It's
brother be humble.
Be humble.
Yeah, we were running around saying that for a long time. Playing.
I want to say about 1, the seminar, 2, also the private that I got. Remember when Milt was like, "Oh, Jaysho, I got you a private with Jordan," and I was like, "Hell yeah!"
This was great.
I'm like, "Let's do it! I'm excited for it."
With Jordan the Messiah.
And then 2 minutes.
This was what, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah,
now?
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. 2 minutes after that, he goes, "But Jaysho, there's a condition."
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, we're getting gifts with conditions here. How are we getting gifts with conditions? I started sweating. This was on Discord. I started sweating. I was like, oh no, he's about to be like, oh, you're gonna spar me for fucking 3 rounds, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm not showing up. But he was like, there's a condition. There's a little team run.
Yeah.
You just have to come on the little team run in the morning.
Team run, bro. Oh.
And you know what? I could hear Sasha in the background. He was like, "Oh, it's Jordan."
I'm going too, Jordan. I'm going too.
He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be there."
Motherfucker, we haven't ran in how long? Fucking 15 years. We probably haven't. Since high school. Yeah.
High school.
Neither of us.
Long ass fucking. It's been a long
But I was like,
time.
that week, I was like, I want to do something hard, and you kind of got funneled into it because Milton was like, hey,
I'll
give you the private, but you got to run with us.
Because I told you this too. I wanted to make a point to where I get a private with everyone at MAMMAA. I want a private with every single person. I've had time with all of them.
Yeah.
But I want an actual.
Shit, we got to get you. You know who's next, right? And I told you, I've said this too. Every time I leave with whoever I'm working with,
there's something so uniquely good about that coach. Every single person.
Yeah, they all have something.
They all have
Milton's
something.
created a hell of a
Dude,
culture and a hell of a team. He put together a hell of a team.
Remember when Milton had me come through? He had me put the band around. He's like, Jaysho, I'm gonna hold pads for you a little bit.
Yeah. Nah, but go back to the condition, right? So
yeah.
So the condition was he's gotta come on the team run with us, right? We go to Taft High School.
Little.
Little.
He said little team run. He used that little.
We're getting Crispy ready for the fight and
so
shit.
I'm thinking, I'm like,
we might go on a 3 mile run, right? We could keep the pace.
I'm gonna go around the gym.
Yeah,
we're gonna go around the gym. Next thing you know,
hill sprints, Taft High School.
We show up.
The Del Moreno Hill. For those of you who don't know, this shit is like this.
We're getting in cars, so already in my head, I'm like, yep, we're not gonna run around the gym. We're doing hill sprints. Makes us do a lap around Taft, which was not bad.
Chill.
It was okay.
Chill.
But in my head, I'm thinking that's a little run. That's a little run. That's a little run. I'm done. I'm running back. I'm going to the end. I'm like, oh, we're done, right? And you guys have the fight team there, right? So it's like this energy of everyone's trying to fucking push it, right? Yep. Then we get to the hill sprints, and I'm not gonna lie to you. We did the first one. Dog.
I wish I had some running shoes. Moment of humbling.
He was running up in dunks, bro.
In dunks, I was. Oh my god.
You were dying, but dude, we're going up this thing.
Me, you, and Tiff.
Shout out
Tiff.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. Big shout out Tiff. She's a savage.
Absolute beast.
Savage.
And I've seen her before, but I've never actually got to talk to her. She was a part of our group going.
Yeah, it was us three running in our interval,
pushing each other.
Yeah, we were.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, and this is what I talk about, the vibe,
camaraderie.
The camaraderie.
Yeah, the brotherhood.
What makes it so good is not, for me, it's not, damn, I just ran up this hill 5-6 times. It's not about that.
So I'm dying and I got my boy behind me.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
I'm not going to make it up the second one, but my boy pulled me to 6.
Yeah.
That's the fucking feeling.
Absolutely.
That's that fucking energy.
Right, it's me and Tiff talking to you, and then you got Crispy and the other homies running down, and they're like, let's go, Jordan.
Let's go,
Jordan. Yeah.
That's that fucking energy that is infectious, bro.
Yeah.
That's why I love sports.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is, but martial arts is
right.
I wish
we found that shit when we were fucking 14.
We were playing basketball, football.
We played everything. We played everything.
But fighting, it's so different.
Yeah,
it's so different because one, you're really.
It's the best workout you can do. Like it's better than just this or this.
It's fun.
You're learning a skill that can be used anywhere.
Anywhere. I don't know any kid that when they were growing up didn't have an idea of either wanting to be a superhero, a fighter.
Oh yeah, that's the closest thing to superhero,
this is
right?
The closest thing, and I told you, dude, I love anime, right?
Felt like Levi out there, huh? Captain Levi out there.
Literally, right after Erwin gave the speech, and he's flying down, trying to get to the Beast Titan, bro. But it's that fucking energy.
Mind you. Wait. Let's finish this little hill sprint story, right? So I think about like 50% of the team did 10 hill sprints. Me, Jordan, and Tiffany, our group, we did 8. Now,
which is so much more.
Yeah.
That's pulling it out of the fire.
Yeah. No, we were fucking dying.
Dead.
My hip was locking up. I'm in dunks. My feet are fucked. Now, dog, I don't know about you, but me, after that run, I couldn't touch my thigh or my calves. Sorry, fuck the thighs.
Do you remember the phone call?
My calves, I couldn't do this. Rose saw me trying to.
I couldn't touch them.
I had it on the lowest. I had the gun on the lowest setting.
On a 1.
And I would touch it, and I was writhing, rolling around like I just got my leg blown off in Ukraine type
Legitimately.
shit. Like that.
And for anyone who doesn't know what that fucking pain is like, go do 10 hill sprints.
Yeah, and let me know how that goes.
And let me know how you feel at the age of 33.
And I had dunks on, so
right?
Suck my ass.
But it was so bad that the next day, Sasha calls me.
I was like, how are you feeling?
And I could not get out of bed. I could not get out of bed.
Bro, I was waddling. I was like this, bro. I was waddling.
And Tubi saw me and she was like, what did you do to yourself? She says that every time I come home. Because...
especially after MAMMAA, right?
In fighting, in sparring, in training, in drilling.
You're permanently going to have nagging injuries. Get used to it.
And this is I could talk about this fucking subject.
That's a humbling thing too, right?
I could talk about this subject forever. Is getting to the realization of what your body can take.
Yeah.
And learning
the conditioning, the
fine line of when to push it and how to repeatedly
or reel it back.
Yeah, but to repeatedly keep doing that fucking thing until it becomes conditioned.
That's a discipline thing.
That is discipline.
Yeah.
This goes back into holding the pads. Oh, you hit
my arm.
My arms hurt.
I remember I was like Jordan.
Guess what happens now? If I get hit like that, I'm coming right back at you, boy. I'm and now it's literally like that, like a bulldog. You literally
harder. You want that. Run that up harder.
And now they hit it, and I'm
unless it's Nico.
No.
When I hold pads for Nico,
I'm going flying.
Yeah, no, it's not even the flying.
Dude, that little tip that Gabe gave about
how he's holding the tabs, how he has one strap looser, and then he's like, I'm holding it here with a monkey grip instead of the thumb in.
He's holding it over.
Yeah,
dude.
Massive, right? Yeah, I tried that shit and I was able to, like, my wrist wasn't...
Now if somebody's kicking me way too hard,
I
adjust. I'm not kidding you. I loosen the bottom one, tighten the top, and I adjust. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the the nuggets, the gems of perfect learning. Something that isn't... He didn't tell me something that was like blew my mind about a combination or how you're going to do something. It's how you hold a pad.
Yeah.
Those little fucking teachings is what all of this shit is about. It's not about, I did my 1, 2, 3 leg kick, fucking did this. And that's a big thing too. I'm constantly thinking like, I have to have a big combo when I'm going against somebody. Simplicity.
Yeah.
You told me this last time we sparred too. You said, break down your combos into 1, 2 strike kick, 1, 2 strike kick, 1, 2 strike kick.
Yeah.
And I started... Tell me, I go back to left hand. I'm like, I got the juice.
Yeah, I got the juice. You should be fucking everyone up over there.
That day, bro, I was boom, boom, bam, boom, boom, bam, and being in that flow of not overcommitting into a combination of thinking, okay, I'm gonna hit him and just keep going. It
wasn't even that, dog. It was after your private with Jordan. I remember he's like, Sasha, come spar.
Yep.
Messiah told me to come spar you.
Yeah.
And I remember. Finally, fucking Milton and the coaches have been yelling at you. Jordan, go forward, dog. Finally, he's fucking walking forward, and it was a completely different sparring.
And can I tell you my thought process of that? Of how I kind of deep it, right? In my head, I was hung up over the fact that if I'm pushing you and I'm taking you and I'm going into your space, I'm walking into danger. That's how my mind...
You're the danger, Walter. You're the danger, Walter.
And that's where it's like changing your mind from thinking super defensive, like every time I go in, I got to go out. Every time I go in, I got to go out. Well, guess what? When you go in and you land something and they don't throw anything back, why are you going out?
Yeah.
Why are you going out? You just keep going forward. And guess what's going to happen? They're going to throw a shot. And you're not in the range that they like to throw the shots at.
Yeah.
So I literally did that with you.
Yeah.
There were so many times
I couldn't get the right off.
You couldn't get the right off. I couldn't get the
right off because the way I wanted to, at least.
Because I was in your space. Yeah. And guess what would happen before? I would walk back, and every step I would take back was right in your range.
Yeah. Right hand, left kick. Right hand, left kick. Chop the leg, right kick.
And those hurt.
Yeah, of course.
Because I'm in the space of where that punch is going into.
You're in the damage zone.
Dude, this is the stuff I love about it. It's so deep.
I love that you go back and think about it.
I do, all the time.
Because I'm driving.
I'm
driving, like, let's say, like, wherever I'm driving to, dog, and I'll just be thinking about, okay, I did a round with this person. Mm-hmm. What did I do good? What did I do bad? What do I want to work on? And that's something you said to me in the beginning. You're like, yo. Because I would remember the first class I ever took, I called you and I was geeked up, dude. You were like, dude, I'm proud of you. And I felt so good. And like after that, you would tell me like, you know, damn. I would tell you stories about, I thought about this when I went with this person and start going into that. And you'd be like, damn, it's a really good thing that you're thinking about this stuff. It means you like this shit. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's exactly what it was. I was going home and just breaking things down. And so I guess a question I have for you, because I'm trying to get to where you're at, right? So I'm 2 years in. You've got like 7 years, right?
Is it? No. It's 6 right now.
So 6 years, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like you know how I am. I'm very competitive, and I'm always trying to catch up with the boys, and I'm always trying to get to their level. You know, and that's what makes me competitive. What do you think? You know, there's those stages of where.
I already know.
I don't know if it's the complacency
where you get plateaued.
You get plateaued.
Oh,
where you're stuck in a place where you're thinking that the day in day out routines of what you're doing ain't doing shit, and it's keeping.
But
you,
it is,
and it's maybe you're not zombie drilling all of those times, but it's that feeling of
you're just in the same place.
Because I remember the first year I had a lot of like people being like, "You're getting nice, you're looking good," and then I get to this period where even as much as I'm going in there, I'm feeling that's our hour timer. Let's do another.
Yeah,
let's
do
like
10 more minutes, something like that.
And so it's like, where do you get? Like, how do you fight that? How do you fight that? That feeling of like
consistency and discipline. And I remember, I don't know if you remember because I told you about it, but I remember I had a breakthrough a couple of months ago where I had a long ass plateau. But I knew in my heart of hearts, as long as I keep showing up,
it's gonna do it.
It's at some point something is gonna change. And I added in a few more. I added in maybe like an extra session of training, and I added in some privates that I took with Gabe.
Yeah,
Gabe really helps me level up, you know. And I remember just like, dog, I was stuck for like half a year. I felt like I'm sucking in sparring. My technique doesn't look good. I'd watch myself on a video and be like, I fucking hate the way I look. I spar
That's
someone.
So crazy.
Yeah, I spar someone. I spar someone, and I'm like, fuck, like I should have washed this person, but like he's landing things on me that shouldn't be landing. And honestly, like it was just and I don't mind you, I don't train like a crazy amount, but I'm like 4 or 5 days a week, you know. Saturdays we push it extra hard, you know. Saturday can be like a 2-3 hour session, you know, and I coach, and then I get a private, you know, on top of that. But it's just consistency and discipline and just believing in yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You told me that I have an issue with believing in myself,
100%.
and I've told you that I have an issue
100%.
in believing in myself.
Yeah.
But it's funny because when it comes to showing up to training, I believe in myself wholeheartedly.
Sure.
But then if you ask me to go fight someone, I'm very realistic with myself, and I
you could break down like your weaknesses. And
yeah,
what
I might focus too much on the weaknesses.
Ooh.
You know, I might focus, but
that's
you just gotta keep showing up, and you gotta do more. You gotta show up consistently, and sometimes you gotta like shake it up a little. You know, like I've done.
Don't just do the same thing over and over.
And that was a big thing for me. You know, I've done privates with Gabe and all the coaches intermittently. Like I'll do like 10 sessions with one of them or 5 sessions with one of them, you know, and I'll spend time with each of the coaches, you know. But it had been a while since I had done pads with Gabe, and I just remember, yo, Gabe, hold some pads for me Saturday at open mat, you know. And that turned into like 2-3 months of privates that like shot my game through the plateau.
Yeah.
And I remember I would go spar during the week, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and I would apply what Gabe was showing me, and then I'd apply what Jordan is showing in the Tuesday, Wednesday, 6 p.m. class. Come through if you're really trying to get that work. Those 2 days are fucking wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I just remember like you just start to notice things are finally starting to click a little bit. And the way I can express this growth the best, you know how you were saying you showed up to left hand, and from like your first year you felt like every class you were getting good,
better. Yeah.
You know? Well, like let's talk about like swimming, Michael Phelps, right? His time is already so fucking good that for him to get half a second more is gonna require him 7 months of 6 days a week training.
That's a good way to put it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a really
because he's
good way
at
to put
such
it.
a high level. For him to get one more step further, it's gonna make him. It's like a wow. It's like the wow fucking experience bar. With the higher into the fucking
more experience,
the higher
like
level. If you're level 90, it's gonna take you way longer to get to 91 than it would for you to get from level 10 to 11.
Yeah,
it's the same thing in everything. Fucking and the coolest thing about fighting is that I'm able to apply all this shit that I'm telling you.
Yeah,
like in my day-to-day life.
Sure.
You know, like you can apply this at work, that like you can apply this in your like relationships, you can apply this in any aspect of life. And that's why like doing martial arts has been like such a fucking like humbling, eye-opening experience. It's made me like become as disciplined. Like I'm still obviously working on like how disciplined I can be, because there's always room for growth.
Yeah.
And I definitely slack off, and I definitely can do things better without a doubt. But yeah, you can apply all of that
into real life
shit that you learn in martial arts to your real life, and that's why it has such a big effect on my life and why I need that in my life.
And dude, I could wholeheartedly say I feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
Because 99% of things that you're learning in these places are gonna help you. Confidence, such a big fucking thing. It lets you go out into the world and you know what real killers are like.
Yeah.
I haven't. And you can see through phonies all day.
I've never had in 9 years of training, I haven't had one street fight.
Yep.
One. Not that I ever had many street fights before.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a lie. That's an absolute
the one with
lie.
the guy at the gas station.
The guy at the gas station.
Let's end with this story too.
The guy at the gas station. Oh my god, I forgot about this.
Yeah, talk about this. This was what, 2 years ago?
Might have been like three years ago.
Yeah.
I was so upset because he gave me a fat lip, and I wanted to go to Coachella. It was Coachella weekend too, and I was like, "Fuck, my lip is like this. I can't even go." It's 2023. But long story short, I mean, it's not even that long of a story. I remember I'm in my boss's car, and he needed it to be at his house pronto, ASAP, on the double type shit, and the car had no gas. I pull up to the gas station. I slide in the first fucking spot I see, and I guess the other dude wanted that spot.
Oh, so he thought you took his?
Yeah, I took his pump.
Welcome
He
welcome
owns
to California.
Yeah, he owns the Chevron Pump 7. You feel me? So I slide in. I get out of the car. I'm paying with cash, so I go inside to pay, and he's cussing at me as I'm walking in.
Yeah.
I walk back out. He's cussing at me. He's
already chirping.
Yeah, he's already chirping at me. It was this fucking white dude. He was maybe like an inch or two taller than you.
Oh,
like,
you were ready to squash him.
And this dude is talking shit to me as I'm walking out. Now, here's where I'll never let someone enter my personal space ever again. He's walking towards me. And
that's a threat.
Fool's talking shit to me.
That's a threat.
And then he said, "The fuck are you gonna do, fool?" And socked me. Some shit along those lines. Just cold cocked me.
Damn.
Cold cocked me. I didn't even have a chance to be like back up or like put my hands up, get in my stance. Nothing. Just big right in my, and that shit hurt.
That's how you know you'll never let someone
I
hit
got
again.
angry, bro.
Yeah.
I got fucking angry. And I still remember what I hit him with. I remember I stumbled back because I was like, holy fuck, this dude just hit me.
Yeah.
This dude just hit me. Okay, I can fight. Let's go. I know how to fight. I remember I jab, push, left head kick.
Ooh. And the head kick landed?
The head kick landed and he dropped. I didn't knock him out. But he went to the floor and I just remember being like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
I hopped in the car
and dipped. Damn.
I hopped in the car and dipped. That fool was a little discombobulated on the floor. Like he didn't.
Oh, he'll remember that.
But I still remember, right? Agony of defeat. I got punched in the mouth. My fucking lip was like this. But I remember when I told Nico, he was like, "Man, I've never thrown a head kick at someone in a fight. I wish I fucking hit someone with a head kick in a fight. God forbid Nico hits anybody with a head kick. He's going to jail, and that person's going to the fucking cemetery. They're skipping the hospital. They're skipping everything. They're going to the mortuary.
Straight to the mortuary.
God forbid he ever hits someone with that shit."
Damn.
But yeah, man, that's my one and only. And it wasn't even me being the aggressor. Like, I didn't chirp back at this dude. I tried to ignore him. He got in my space, cocked me, and fucking, I had to do him. I had to do it, bro.
Hey, sometimes.
I had to do it.
Sometimes.
I had to do it.
Listen, bro. I took a law class one time. And our teacher told us, if you ever get in a fight or you want to get into a fight, you just have to ask the other person, are you agreeing to
I don't even know the legalities of that shit. I don't even know the legalities.
But I think that's a perfect story because I know the type of person you are. You're not someone who's like wants to fight aggressive. Like people think you are because you're loud.
I'm loud.
All this
I'm loud and I'm obnoxious.
But you're not that type
Sometimes.
of person. But it's one of those stories where it's like, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of waiting for someone to really.
You know, I'd like to test myself. God forbid I have to test myself against someone like Nico or Milton or Messiah.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear. That's why I don't start shit with nobody because I know the fucking consequences could be dire.
Yep. Someone
could be dire.
Someone could take you out like that.
Someone could take you out, Don. You talk some shit to Nico.
And it's over. And it's over. Damn, bro. Well, I'm going to say this. I think we got 10 minutes past the thing.
Yeah.
This was one of the most fucking fun things.
This was fun as fuck.
This was fun as
fuck. And we only stayed on one subject, Doc. I wanted to talk about like 4 other subjects. This is the only one. That's actually a good thing. That's actually a good thing.
There's more shit to talk about. There's more to come. So there's more to come. We'll say this to end this. We've had a blast. Brother Be Humble, episode 1.
Brother Be Humble, please.
I hope we have way more and that we get to continue sharing stories and have a good fucking time like this, bro. So much fun.
Yalla, baby.
Yalla!
Let's go.
All right, and with that, good afternoon, bitches.
Good afternoon, bitches!